The Philippine Nurses Association of Nevada now brings you FilipiNARS, news and features about the Filipino-American nursing community and beyond. And now, here's your host, Doris Bauer.
Well, good evening to you all, FilipiNARS followers and listeners. Thank you so much for joining us today. This program is still a continuing public service project of the PNANV, which is the Philippine Nurses Association of Nevada, in collaboration with PHLV Radio. Joining me today, actually, is our FilipiNARS field reporter and co-host, Ms. Jessica Lilang. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Ate Doris. Great to be here. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning into our podcast this week. I'm excited to be here.
Good. Get you out of the field and bring you in here in the studio. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice and warm.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Jessica, before we get to the main topic of this program today, I just want to say that in March of 2019, that was about 4 years ago, we aired our first FilipiNARS episode. I cannot believe that we've been doing this for 4 years. And so we're officially now starting our 5th year. Well, what do you think about that, Jessica?
I think that's great. I didn't know that FilipiNARS was on for so long, but once I learned about it, I was like, I gotta know more about this. And it wasn't until the luncheon that I realized how big PHLV Radio is and how big FilipiNARS is, and I'm just so honored to be part of something so great and so impactful. So thanks for having me here.
That's good. You can inherit this whole thing. No, it's really good. I think our first episode was with the Cleveland Clinic people, the Cobra Project. So that was really a good honor. Well, anyways, let's get to the topic for today's program. Well, Jessica and I are here to report the events that transpired on February 23 of 2023 when a delegation of nurses went to Carson City, Nevada to be part of the Nurses' Day at the Legislature. It was a very exciting day. Actually, PNANV were represented by several delegates, and they were Elizabeth De Leon Gamboa, the immediate PNANV past president, Ms. Emer Sambo, president-elect, Marie Costa, member at large for the North, and Lloyd Gamboa, member at large for the South, and Victoria Squire, PNANV secretary, and of course Johan Saison, our PNANV, I can't talk right now, communications director, and of course Jessica and myself.
Yes.
Right. That was quite exciting. Our president Flora Saison could not make it on account that she had some stuff going on at her school. Mm-hmm. So we were sorry she wasn't there, but I think we did represent her very well.
Yes.
So anyway, so we were, of course, joined by about 50 to 60 nurses. And among them were representatives from the NNA, or the Nevada Nurses Association, the NSBN, the Nevada State Board of Nursing, the NAC, the Nevada Action Coalition, nurses from Michael O'Callaghan Hospital in Las Vegas, and nursing educators from Reno, from Winnemucca, and Elko, Nevada, among many others. So, Jessica, what do you think?
I think we had a very powerful and impactful day. It was a very exciting day. The Nurses' Day at Legislature was organized by the Nevada Nurses Association, which doesn't just encompass Las Vegas, it's North and just all of the nurses in Nevada. Mm-hmm. So, looking at one of our pictures that I'm sure we're going to put up, there's a lot of nurses that were there. They had the whole day planned. Breakfast and lunch was provided. We also got CEUs that we got to claim by listening to the invited speakers, like Miss Donna Miller, who was the keynote speaker. She was amazing. She talked about her flight nurse company. The speed of change is accelerating, which was a great keynote that we talked about how nursing is constantly changing and how we can keep up with that. Kathy Denauer, the executive director of the Nevada State Board of Nursing also spoke about the Nurse Licensure Compact, which is why we went up there. And it was great because last time we had seen her was our COVID, post-COVID impact, that we had with her
as a speaker.
So it was nice to see her again and give us an insight about the Nurse Licensure Compact and why we were there. We also heard from Jessica Ferrato, the NNA lobbyist and a representative from the Nevada Donor Network, about how donating organs can impact families and individuals. These talks were also made available online for online participants who joined us on Zoom. We had some technical difficulties, but I'm glad that we finally got it fixed, and those online were able to get those CEUs and join in as well.
Yeah, that was very good. And we have a lot of pictures to show you, so I will let our director here put that on. Well, isn't technology fantastic? But, it was definitely an exciting day for us. But the highlight of the day was that the delegates were invited to sit with the state senators and the assembly men and women. The Senate and the Assembly were holding different sessions, and so delegates were assigned to sit with these people. The delegates' task was to speak with the legislatures who they were assigned to sit with about AB 108, or the Assembly Bill 108, which was in support of the nursing or the Nurse Licensure Compact. I was excited to sit with Senator Marilyn Donderas-Loop. What was really great too was each legislator introduced their guests to the whole assembly, actually, and to me it was indeed an honor. So let us look at some clips of the delegates and the legislators.
Business of the day. Who would like to go first? Senator Pazina.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to introduce today Lloyd Gamboa, who is a resident of the very beautiful Senate District 12 and has been a nurse for 31 years. He specialized in rehabilitation and medical surgery, and he's currently working at UMC. Thank you so much, and please welcome him.
Senator Orenshaw.
Thank you very much. And I would like to introduce Doris Bauer to you. She works as an area nurse manager for SISU Healthcare Solutions. She is the former president of the PNA Nevada, Philippine Nurses Association, now serving in the advisory board. She's host of PNA in Nevada podcast, and she has made public awareness of different health issues in our community and beyond, and the healthcare professionals and organizations involving patient care. Please make her feel welcome.
Senator Lang.
Thank you, Mr. President. My guest today is Maria Costa Nadora. She was born and raised in the Philippines, and she's an RN. She has been a nurse for almost 30 years, and she is also a licensed nursing home administrator. Please help me make her feel welcome. Thank you.
All right, thanks to all of you. We will take a brief recess.
So, Jessica, what did you think?
I thought it was great. Are we?
Yeah, no, I think Johan captured a whole bunch of this
Yeah.
videos that were streamed online as well.
Yes.
So,
I think it was really great that because we asked beforehand, of course, are we allowed to record in here? And once they said yes, we're like, yes, this is going to be great. It was very inspiring. The legislators were very accommodating. I had the honor to sit with Assemblywoman Shannon Bilbray Axelrod. And so I actually had read up on her before we went on there, and she's actually someone who's involved in healthcare as well. So
great. I did not know that.
So when I was reading her bio, she helps, reduce the cost of prescription medications. She helps veterans find health care. And then she also helps with childhood diabetes and prevention or secondary prevention and stuff like that. So we were talking about health care and about AB 108, and
That's
she was,
good.
it seemed like she was on board. I don't want to speak for her, of course.
Yes.
But it was great that I was able to speak with her and tell her about what our mission is and what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and the senator that I was speaking with, she wasn't aware. She thought maybe the assembly bill was already passed, and then I told her, no, we're still in the process of getting it into the assembly. And she said to let her know when she actually when this is going to go to the Senate, because she's gonna naturally take a look at it. And she was also very positive because she said she was a teacher. And she said she was also trying to get some things, just like we are lobbying, well, not lobbying, but just like we are championing for the teachers. So that was great.
Yeah, I think it was great that we were able to talk to them and spread the word. And we have little handouts that I'm sure we can show up here about our 6
he's gonna
points.
show it. Right,
great.
right.
But it was great. During the lunch break, Lieutenant Governor Anthony Stavros even joined us to welcome the nurses. And I was talking to Ata Elizabeth Gamboa about this, and he had all of us stand and honor us, and I think she teared up a little bit. And it was just very important to have that because it was the Nurses' Day at Legislature, and I think it was great that we were honored there.
And that was really good that he was able to take some of his time to come to the luncheon, right?
Yeah, I think that was great. So here's Lieutenant Governor giving us a short interview, as well as other delegates sharing why it's important to be here for the Nurses' Day at Legislature.
We have our Lieutenant Governor over here, and today is Nurse Legislators Day. So, Lieutenant Governor, may we ask you a couple of questions?
Sure.
What do you think of our nursing situation here in Nevada and our nurses?
Well, first of all, my name's Stavros Anthony. I'm your Nevada Lieutenant Governor, and it's great to be up here in Carson City during the legislative session. And I'm really proud to see all our nurses up here in the legislative branch advocating for our nursing profession all over the state of Nevada. And they should be up here supporting nurses and making sure legislators are taking a look at passing bills that are going to help the nurses and the nursing profession here in the state of Nevada. I'm a big supporter. I love nurses. My daughter's a nurse.
Oh, that's wonderful.
She's been a nurse for a long time. She loves being a nurse, and I'll do everything that I can to support your profession.
That's good, sir. One last question for you. What do you feel about the Nurse Compact licensure, the Nurse Licensure Compact?
Actually, I don't really know that much about it yet because I'm on the Senate side.
Oh, okay.
And we haven't actually looked at it on the Senate side yet. So I'm looking forward to going through it.
Yes.
That if it's something that supports nurses and the nursing profession, I'll absolutely support it. But I'm looking forward to taking a look at it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor Stavros.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank-
Yes, it was such a great experience, really, to be able to talk to these people. They had a lot to say, and I'm sorry we couldn't, get everybody in this, but everybody was so enthusiastic. However, another highlight of the day, which was really important and very exciting, was to have us, the delegates, to have been given the opportunity to visit some of the legislators in their offices. So we went to see, for example, Assemblywoman Erica Mosca. We were able to see Assemblyman Yui Nguyen. and of course Senator Julie Pazina, to name a few. So the PNANV delegates made sure that the Filipino nurses were represented and recognized on that day. And in the process of going from one office to another, we also met many lobbyists and many other representatives from the nursing unions who were stating their stand on the opposition for the Nurse Licensure Compact. So here are some pictures of those meetings.
Well, for me, it was a great learning experience to see the legislative process in motion. AB 108 still has to be presented to the Assembly. Unfortunately, it wasn't introduced when we were there, but at least we were there representing nurses, and we were able to talk about the bill that will be introduced.
Correct.
So, if passed, it has to go to the Senate to be passed before it becomes a law. So, I'm excited to have that in process, and I have really good and high hopes about this.
I do too. It was just unfortunate that it didn't get, introduced while we were there. We weren't. That wasn't part of their agenda. But yes, we're looking forward to it.
Yes.
And so, it was really definitely an exciting day. But let us not lose sight of the campaign for the NLC, the Nurse Licensure Compact. And here are some opinions of some nurses who are in support of the NLC.
So I think as nurses, we can advocate for the scope of nursing, regardless of what our role in that is. You know, as an APRN, I am a registered nurse as well as an advanced practice provider. So, part of what I've been doing today is meeting with some of the legislators around, how can we support access to care?
Hello, my name is Lindsay Huber, and I'm a registered nurse in Arizona. I have been a registered nurse for over 20 years. My specialty is home infusion. I highly recommend the state of Nevada to join the Nurse Licensure Compact. If they join the compact, this would allow RNs to provide care not only state to state, but also by telephone and telehealth. It would also allow RNs to deliver care outside of Nevada in the case of an emergency, pandemic, or disaster. And lastly, it would allow military spouses who move around state to state to practice. I highly encourage you, Nevada, to vote yes and join the Nurse Licensure Compact.
Well, thank you. Thank you to the nurses who have taken their time to give us their perspective on the NLC. And so, before we close, I would like to thank Jessica Lilang for co-hosting today. Jessica, any last words to our listeners?
Thank you, Ate Doris and Kuya, for having me here today. Last words for our listeners, I would just say, look into AB 108 and why it's important to us. It's very important that we pass this bill. It's something we've been working on for a long time. And just thank you guys for listening and supporting us at FilipiNARS and PHLV Radio. So I'm excited to see what else we have in store.
Of course. And I'm so glad that you are part of it. So thank you again, Jessica. And to our FilipiNARS listeners and followers, especially our nurse colleagues, I would like to say that attending events like this, the Nurses' Day at the Legislature, is really important. This is my first time going there, and I am here to tell you that it is exciting and exhilarating to see the legislature in motion. How complicated the process can be, but a process that is basically organized, political in nature, but at the same time ethical in my personal observation. So, as nurses, we have to make our voices heard by going into events like this or by showing your support to what is important to our nursing practice. It is the only way to effect a change. We need to do it together, and together we can make a difference. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you for the privilege of your time. This is Doris Bauer, your FilipiNARS host, signing off for now.
The Philippine Nurses Association of Nevada has just brought you FilipiNARS, news and features about the Filipino American nursing community and beyond.